The warning came too late. Mara Rodriguez had already pressed her palm against the crystalline interface, her grease-stained fingers leaving smudges on the surface that hadn't been touched in 10,000 years. The moment her skin made contact, light exploded through the sepulchre. Not the cold blue of Crithian technology, but warm, golden, alive. Emperor Zalcor's 4 arms flailed in horror. "Remove your hand. Remove it now." But Mara couldn't. Energy poured into her, through her a cascade of information and recognition that felt like coming home and meeting a god simultaneously. Beneath the sepulchre's floor, something vast stirred for the first time in millennia. The Titan was waking up. Mara had been hired 3 weeks ago to repair some mining equipment on Crithia Prime. Simple job, good pay, no questions asked. She'd been elbow-deep in a broken drill when the Emperor's guards arrested her, dragged her to the capital, and threw her in front of Zalcor himself. "You will open the sepulchre," he'd commanded, all imperial authority and cold certainty. "I'm a mechanic, not a locksmith," Mara had replied. "The sepulchre requires a progenitor's touch to open. Our scans indicate you possess progenitor genetic markers." His eyes had gleamed with greed. "Inside sleeps the first Titan, the weapon that carved empires from chaos. With it, the Crithian domain will become unstoppable." Mara had tried to explain that she was just human, that her ancestors were from Nevada and had never carved anything except turkey at Thanksgiving. But the Emperor's guards had weapons, and Mara had bills to pay, so she'd touched the door. The door had opened, and now the Titan was waking. The entire sepulchre began to shake. Ancient mechanisms groaned to life. The floor split apart in perfect geometric sections, revealing a chamber that descended into darkness, or what Mara had thought was darkness until lights ignited far below, outlining something enormous. "What have you done?" Zalcor whispered, his earlier confidence evaporating. "I have no idea," Mara admitted, still connected to the interface. Information flooded her mind. Schematics, protocols, warnings in a language she shouldn't understand but somehow did. Oh no. What? The Titans weren't weapons. Mara's voice was distant, odd. They were gardeners. The being that rose from the chamber was 50 meters tall, humanoid in the way a parent resembles a child, constructed from materials that existed in states of matter Mara had no names for. Its face was serene, almost kind, and when it spoke, the universe listened. Authorization recognized. Progenitor genetic markers confirmed. Awaiting instructions. The Titan's voice resonated in Mara's bones, in her DNA, in something deeper than either. She understood, suddenly and completely, what the Emperor had misunderstood for 10,000 years. The progenitors hadn't been conquerors. They'd been terraformers, spreading life across the galaxy, building Titans to reshape worlds into gardens. Humanity carried their markers because humans were their distant children, seated on Earth millions of years ago, left to grow and evolve and eventually return to the stars. The Crithians had found a Titan and, in their limited understanding, saw only a weapon. They'd studied it, worshipped it, feared it, but they could never wake it because violence wasn't in its programming. "Command it," Zalcor shrieked, his guards raising weapons. "Command it to destroy my enemies. I am your Emperor." Mara finally pulled her hand away from the interface, turning to face Zalcor with eyes that still glowed faintly gold. "You're not my Emperor, and this isn't yours to command. Then I'll kill you and find another progenitor descendant. Good luck." Mara smiled grimly. "There are 8 billion of us on Earth alone. We're everywhere, Your Majesty. We've been spreading across the galaxy for the last 200 years, and we had no idea why space felt like coming home. Now I do." She turned back to the Titan. Status report on Crithia Prime. Ecosystem collapse in progress. 62% of native species extinct. Water systems contaminated. Atmospheric degradation accelerating. Can you fix it? Affirmative. Estimated time for planetary restoration. 47 standard years. Mara nodded. "Do it, and catalog every species we've lost. We'll bring them back if we can." "Understood. Beginning restoration protocols." The Titan stepped forward, and the sepulchre walls dissolved like morning mist. It walked into the light of Krithia Prime's sun, and where its feet touched ground, green things began to grow. Zalcor lunged at Mara with a blade, but the Titan was faster. A barrier of solidified light appeared between them, gentle but absolute. Violence against progenitor descendants is prohibited. You will not interfere with restoration. Mara looked at the Emperor, this small, frightened being who'd built his power on a weapon he never understood. You wanted to use the Titan to conquer. Instead, it's going to heal your world whether you like it or not. Every Titan in the galaxy just woke up, by the way. They're all starting restoration protocols. She picked up her tool bag and walked toward the exit. I'm going home. I've got about 8 billion relatives to call. Turns out we've got work to do. Behind her, the Titan began to sing, a song of growing things, of water and soil, and life returning to wounded worlds. The age of conquerors was ending. The gardeners had come home.